Hello, you guys. How's it going? I don't know if I did the wink blink. So, a little fun fact, I wink blink. Meaning like I'll blink from one eye and do the other. It's kind of weird. Oh my god. Imagine just the scenario of me talking to somebody and I go, I actually do that. And now I'm looking at myself doing it, and that's fucking crazy. But I picked up this habit from a long time ago when I used to work in LA, and I was doing some work for an agent, and they're very fast paced. And for some reason, I developed this habit while I was covering that desk to read whatever's on the computer, but to not be interrupted by blinking as if it would. I would just wink, and then if I need to do that for that eye, and I'll wink for the other eye. That's crazy. But anyway, I have a funny story to share with you today. I think it's funny. But okay, so my boss asked for sushi for lunch for him and his client, and how it was prepared, it was this one big tray. It's communal. You can pick off of it, put it on your plate. You're good to go. And at the end of it, I had to pick it up and throw it away. As I was, 5 beautiful pieces were sitting there looking at me. I was looking at them. We were in love. And I thought to myself, first of all, I don't think, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't think it's nasty. That's a good segue into a subject that I've been wanting to talk about. But I've noticed I talk a lot about, not that I think it's wrong, but I wonder if it comes off redundant. But like, I was gonna go into just my feminist related notes on the world, but whatever, we won't cut to the subject yet using this as a segue. I want to finish the fucking funny story. So I thought to myself, man, I hope my boss doesn't come by, because quickly I just pop it in my mouth, and I don't think it's gross. It's on a platter, bro. Everybody's taking sushi from it. Everybody, by meaning 2 people, but like, and which makes the situation better. So I put a piece in my mouth, and immediately my boss walks by. He goes, "Great sushi." And like, I had the sushi in my mouth, and I go, He probably knows. He knows I put some in my mouth. Fuck. But anyways, so yeah. Then I went to the kitchen with a platter, ate like 5 of these bitches, and it was amazing. And that's how I had sushi for lunch. So anyway, that was my funny story. Cool segue into something I wanted to talk about, which I've discussed with my cousin, which is that I think clean girl aesthetic is great, and it's commendable, but I think it manipulates the idea of women and dehumanizes them, kind of, if we're going to really lower the tone and get into the reality, the system. I think that the clean girl aesthetic is heavily applied to women, or the clean aesthetic is heavily applied to women in a way to, I guess, ensure that we remain submissive. Maybe I have my interpretation is incorrect, but that's how it seems to me, because I feel like it is dehumanizing. Why? Like, why can't I just, I don't know, men burp and fart, men shit, they talk about it, and women, like, we still are attracted to them. But as soon as, like, I mean, now, the paradigm has shifted, but like in the Y2K era, it was a rarity to even hear a woman like behave like this, or to inherit those masculine characteristics, especially in their jargon or whatever, their rhetoric, sorry. But I just think it's like dehumanizing, because fuck it, like, I don't think I'm gross, but like, I feel as though I would be considered gross, because like, I don't know, man, because the clean girl aesthetic, but that isn't to say like I'm dogging on women who feel empowered enough to remain this cleanly and to have that certain lifestyle. I mean, it is something I look up to. Like, I'm, to care for your skin, to care for yourself, to have that minimalistic lifestyle, to be cleanly, it's not like I hate it. I just don't adhere to it all the time. You should see my car. But so there's no comparison. I'm just saying that the notion itself is, I think, a conduit of control. So That's my 2 cents. But I won't make this the whole subject of the video today. Really, I think I'm just idling and rambling, and we'll see what point we get to next as I continue to talk on this video. But I wonder if I'm becoming more and more obnoxious on here the more videos I make. I will say that as I continue to vlog, I guess not my social skills, but my speaking skills have improved. Normally I am chatty with people I'm used to, like I can talk my way through and get all the points across and be myself, but I have a habit of masking, and I feel like it's a curse to, I think, be so observant to the point where I shift my own nature to preserve camaraderie or peace within a social dynamic. And I'll never really get to be myself or present who I truly am, which can be at times, honestly, obnoxious, maybe. I don't know. Or just like, I don't know, silly, goofy. I don't know. But, yeah. So, what else? No. I don't know. Oh, fuck. We've hit a roadblock. Well, tonight, today's Thursday. I mentioned this in my last video. Tonight I'm gonna be watching the finale of The Boys. Damn. That sucks. Can't believe the show is ending. I will say season 5 was shit. I don't give a fuck. It was shit. It was really bad. It was poor writing. They sexualized everything. I'm not a prude. I'm obviously, if I'm a fan of the show, then clearly, like I'm not critical of that sort of comedy humor, but they overkilled, and they killed Kimiko. What the fuck was that? Okay, she was far more eloquent without vocalizing her thoughts, but the character shift as soon as she started speaking was just like, you almost infantilized her because of how stupid she sounds. She sounds like a 14-year-old kid, I can't. But I am gonna finish the show. I am gonna cry because I'm a sensitive girl. What can I say? I love to cry, and I think crying is so healthy, and I think it is brave. Those who cry in public are brave. They are. I cry in public. I don't give a fuck. I will. And I think you just have to be true to yourself and honest to your feelings, and if you are welling up, then let that barrier break. Yeah. But yes, I am sensitive, and I think I wanted to make a video a while ago kind of giving my perspective on, I just cracked my toes. Feet content. Sorry. So anyway, I wanted to kind of give insight on what it's like being an only child. Now, I'm not the typical traditional only child because I spent a lot of my life with my 2 cousins who I consider my siblings, and so I think that kind of altered my boundaries, or the ones that I would have kept for myself had I grown up entirely isolated from the idea of siblings or siblinghood. So I will say though, we're 7 years apart, me and my cousins, and obviously I'm older, so for 7 years I was treated like an only child, and those are your developmental years, so some of those traits remain. And that being said, I think there are some quirks and idiosyncrasies of mine that relate to an only child's experience. And really what I find so fascinating is, like, because you grow up deracinated from community, and community really being your siblings, because your siblings are a source of environment, like they also present to you like different perspectives on the world, and I guess get you socially up to speed. When you're an only child, you're kind of just wading in the water, figuring it out for yourself, kind of, and you have your own ways of doing it. And I think that's why sometimes I can come off a little bit too outlandish or strange. Maybe on here while I'm vlogging, even now, like I'm just now becoming more and more comfortable with myself here on camera, you know. Not that isn't to say the subjects I discuss are inauthentic or not true to what I believe. Of course they are. That's the primary idea that I like to promulgate here, but otherwise I just think that it's I don't know, like I feel dissociated from people, and it took me long to understand, not cues, but like I don't know where I'm heading with this, but it just took me a minute to just acclimate myself. And that's I think I wish I had siblings. I wish I did, real biological ones that I grew up with, or I had older siblings, so I can, I guess, I don't know, have somebody to lean on and laugh with as I'm growing up. As a result, now I'm unnecessarily close to my parents, which I'm very grateful of. Like of course, I really enjoy the company of my parents, but you know, like sometimes you detach and you realize, oh, you're sitting in the back seat and you're 27 and you're spending time with your mom and dad on a Saturday night. What? What is that? But like obviously I don't spend a lot of my weekends that way, but it'll happen, and sometimes it's too frequent, and then that thought will occur, you know. So it's cool, but on the other hand, it also makes me feel extremely fucking lame. So yeah, that said, I wish I had one more sibling. On the flip side though, the attention I am used to from my mommy and daddy is immaculate. It's incomparable. In fact, I wouldn't trade it for a different life in which I was raised with a sibling, because I think that when you have that, but to be honest, I think this is something parents should hear is like, you know, when you have multiple kids, first of all, why are you having more than 4? That's my opinion. Why are you polluting the world with your DNA? Who the fuck do you think you are? Why the fuck are you having more than 4 kids? That's crazy. If it happens, it happens. Sure, you know, now they're here. I respect the kid, you know? But like, come on. Why are you doing that? But anyway, I think parents, when they have multiple kids, you have the responsibility, not twice over, thrice over, to give that child personable attention and to ensure that you see them for them and not just another child in the mix. Because if you don't have that connection, how do you expect that child to develop their own sense of identity and therefore their sense of, or their self-esteem, you know? Luckily, I'm not saying that I'm pumped with self-esteem. Obviously, I have my own journey, and because of my own decisions, I had to kind of render my own version of self-esteem. So, you know, it's not perfect, and we don't live in a perfect world, but I think it certainly helps when a parent is so concerned with ensuring that they have a relationship with their child, that the child in return, you know, feels like a watered plant, feels nourished, you know? So I'm lucky to have that attention, especially because if, you know, like if I'm being so honest with you, the life I envision for myself is one that is difficult to achieve, but I need all the support I can get, and I need all the fucking vigor and belief and passion to get me there, you know, because I want my Oscar, and I want to greenlight films. I want to be on that end of productions. I want that dream, and I will have that, certainly. And if it weren't for my parents, I don't think I could even have the guts to envision it. So that little voice in my head, be it sometimes critical, because parents aren't perfect, that voice is predominantly supportive of what I do and who I am. And I really, I mean, I think I'd love to quantify the amount of self-love I have for me. Now, you know, it doesn't come without criticism, and sometimes unnecessary, sometimes necessary. Sometimes the criticism itself is something I admire because, you know, I'm watchful of certain things, you know, like, meaning I always want to improve and be better as a person. But otherwise, I love myself. You know, I think about myself all the time, and you should too, because it's your fucking life, and you're the star, baby. You are the fucking star of your life. You know, not distastefully, Not in a way that dims anyone else's shine, of course, but in your own world, it's about you. And that's why I look at every single reflection and mirror ever, all the time. When it passes me, I'm looking at myself. Don't expect anything. Uh, but I do, and I have, my parents' commentary and their support is my subconscious. Because when I'm walking around, I feel good about myself. I feel happy with myself. I feel confident. I feel like I exist. And a lot of those thoughts are in the voice of my mom and my dad. So I love them very much. Look at that. Look where we've landed as we have segued into passionate feminism and a little bit of this ranting and the boys and whatever. We found ourselves to a very good and wholesome point, maybe one that is personal to me, but if it has to be in any way applicable, then I'd say if you're in the stage of being a parent, then be one that is personable, be one that is honest, be one that is sincere to the responsibility of raising a whole other person. Like they may be biologically you, they're your kid, but they are their own, and you have to respect it, and you have to bring who they are to fruition. So yeah, I'm incredibly lucky, and it's not always easy. It's not, it's not like both of my parents were on board for my endeavors immediately. It took time, but wherever I am now, I appreciate them to the depths of my heart, because of how much color and beauty they give to my life. So yeah, damn, that got kind of deep. Yeah, so anyway, that's about it. Tonight I intend on cleaning my room, because I kind of have to. You can't really see it. You don't know what happens beyond not the calendar, sorry, I have a reminder. Oh, I have a meeting. Look at me, I'm so busy. Fuck. Wait, no. It's at 7. I have time. Yeah, Mama's busy. She takes meetings. She takes calls. She goes, this is she. But anyway, so I have to clean my room. It's the weekend. I want to enjoy it. I want to relax, and I cannot relax if everything it just disorients me when shit's messy. So I'm gonna get to that. And then I will then do some self-care, and then I will watch my TV show. And tomorrow, maybe, just maybe, I will go to the beach by my lonesome and enjoy music and go and talk to the water. That's another thing, I could talk about for a couple minutes. The water listens, baby. Ew, why did I say baby? I wish I didn't say that, but the water listens. I like to believe that. I want to go. I want to talk to the water. I want to express my grievances, my wishes, my dreams, where I'm at, how I feel, what do I want to change, what do I want to fix, and appreciation and gratitude. And also tell the water how much I love it, because I love water. My rising sign, Pisces. Yeah. And I will appreciate the ocean and its life within. Yeah. So that's it. That's really what I have to talk about today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, rest of your week, and I will see you later. Bye.